Jason Kidd was just asked who did he think was the Celtics' best player. His response, I'm going to just read what he had to say. Well, Jaylen is their best player. Just looking at what he does defensively, he picked up Luka full court, he got to the free throw line, he did everything, and that's what your best player does. Just understanding he plays both sides, defense and offense at a high rate, and he's been doing that the whole playoffs. I mean, when you talk about the Eastern Conference MVP, and it seems like he has continued to pick up where he left off. This is what Jason Kidd said. So he said that Jaylen Brown is the best player of the Celtics. Some of the quotes, I'm going to read out what the Celtics had to say. Jaylen Brown first said, "I don't have no reaction." And then I'm going to read out another quote he said. "I'm not sure," Brown said when asked why Kidd would go out his way to drive a wedge between him and Tatum. "But we have been just extremely focused on what our roles and our job are. We have all had to sacrifice. Jason has had to do that at the highest of levels. Right, and I respect him and tip his cap for it. Right now, at this point, it's whatever it takes to win. And we can't let any outside interpretations try to get in between us." So that's what Jaylen Brown had to say. Tatum said this. "I think, like I said, just over time you learn how to deal with things," Tatum said. "There was a point, right, in my career where things did affect me or would bother me that, to hear people talk about me on TV. But you just have to come to a realization that, for one, don't take it personal. People have a job to do. You have to respect that. They have to go on TV and give their analysis of, things that they see and watch, and that's fair. You understand what the media side has done for the game of basketball and how we have all benefited from that. Again, people wouldn't talk about me if I wasn't one of the best players. I'm not the only player that they have ever talked about, and I won't be the last. So understanding that side of it." So that's what he said about it. I think there might be some more quotes from Tatum about this. Let me see if there is any. Here's what else he had to say about it. "This is a team sport, right? We understand that. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have JB on our team, and we can say that for a lot of guys. We have all played a part in getting us where we're at. We understand that people try to drive a wedge between us. I guess it's a smart thing to do or try to do. We've been in this position for many of years of guys trying to divide us and say that one of us should be traded or one of us is better than the other. So it's not our first time at the rodeo." So it's pretty interesting what they've had to say about this. I would say it seems to me that Jason Kidd tried to play a Phil Jackson-like mind game trick on the Celtics, in which he did try to see if he could drive a wedge between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, in hoping that one of those two guys will play selfish basketball and try to outshine the other one just because out of ego and a pride thing, to show that they're the man, that this is their team, and they want all the accolades that go with it, such as winning finals MVP. Sometimes it does work, to be honest. I felt in 2004, the Pistons didn't say this, but the way they were playing defense, they dared Kobe to be the guy, to be the man, instead of him playing the system that he had played for years with Shaq, which is get Shaq involved, allow Shaq to dominate, and then play off of that. And it worked to their advantage that Kobe decided to be selfish. So sometimes it can work. Sometimes players can take the bait and be dumb enough to do it. It seems like Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not going to fall for this trick. Obviously, we had to see by the way they play the game. But from what they've said, it seems like they know what Jason Kidd is trying to do. They're not angry at him in any way. They just recognize that it's just the mental game he's trying to play. But we'll see for sure tomorrow if if they're smart enough not to fall for this trick. But I think they are. I think they're not going to fall for this at all, but we'll see.